Well, I'd like to officially introduce everyone to the project and to my YouTube channel. This was requested by, literally thousands of people off of TikTok. Those of you that do not follow me on TikTok and found me just on YouTube, go over there and you can see some of these more current updates. I'll probably be doing a YouTube video now once a week. But to see day by day what we got done, you can go over to my TikTok channel. It's still the same, Zephyr Speed Shop, all one word, and you can watch the updates as they happen. For those of you that are not aware, this is the Tesla Mustang. It's a 1966 Ford Mustang. We started this about a year ago. We started with a base 1966 straight six coupe and a 3-speed manual, and we are converting it to an electric car. We're also doing a fiberglass body kit. You can see carbon fiber hood, fiberglass body kit, trunk, the whole 9 yards, front bumper as well. Really just trying to make this thing just a smashing good car, good looking car, which is all great. I love that, but I am all about the mechanics. So here we have the Tesla drive unit. This came out of a Tesla Model S P85D. I can't remember the year off the top of my head, but you can actually buy this kit through a company called 057 Technology, and they are based out of, I believe, North Carolina. I can't remember the town, but this is about a 630 horsepower unit. I can't remember the torque number on it. It's an insane amount of torque. 057 Tech sells you an entire kit that comes with a throttle pedal. On my last video, I called it a gas pedal, and I was practically hung up for it because there's no gas in this car, so it's a throttle pedal, along with a wiring harness to integrate this new electric motor into that Tesla 66 Mustang. So, to kind of go through the build a little bit more, that is the motor, but there's a whole lot of other stuff that goes along with the motor. You can see we did start doing some engine brackets, mounting brackets, and ran into some frame rail rust. You can see some of the Bondo that we've been grinding out, along with some of the bodywork we're doing here on this flare. But we did run into some frame rail rust, and that is definitely holding us back at the moment. I foolishly said that we're going to have this thing up and moving in 2 weeks. So not only did I run into the frame rail rust that is slowing us down and being a complete pain in the butt, but the 300 amp gigavac contactor that I have to make this motor hook up to the batteries, it also went bad. So I have another one of those on order. We'll probably receive that, I think it was the middle of next week, which is kind of sad, but it's coming all the way from Massachusetts, so I guess I'll let it slide. I'm here just in southern Utah, so I'm kind of far away. It's a small town. We're far away from anything automotive, so I have to order everything online, which is a little bit of a drawback. But going back to the car, to get that motor integrated into the car, talking to it, here you can see these are my covers for my Chevy Volt battery packs. And they are right over here. I have 2 of them. I believe these are 16 kilowatt hours each, 16.2. So I'm hoping for a range of anywhere between 80 and 100 miles, as long as you're, keeping your foot off that throttle pedal. Fairly easy to wire up. We will actually be dismantling these packs and placing them all over the car. You can actually see a few of my cardboard battery templates. These batteries are quite heavy. They're 400 pounds each pack. And so it's a lot easier to fit cardboard batteries. They're a lot easier to handle. They're lighter, and you can take them in and out of the car very easily. It's just a lot faster to do your mock-up with cardboard instead of big old heavy batteries. So we will disassemble all of these and place them where they need to go. We will then run cooling lines. As you can see, here's a picture of some of the cooling lines as they fit in the battery packs. They're very, very easy. just using, rubber hose. I believe it's a 6 psi to 14 psi that I'll have to run an electric coolant pump to run coolant through all these batteries. But I can place them wherever I want them. I just have to run the coolant. And then on top of that, you have the wiring, where you will wire positive to negative. We will be running the batteries as they sit as far as voltage, just exactly how they're built. But then we'll tie them together to increase or double the kilowatt hour or battery packs. So it will be the same voltage as it was in the Chevy Volt, but we will be running it so that it has double the life, or double the range of a Chevy Volt on purely electrics. So that's the batteries. On top of the wiring and the cooling, by far the hardest part of this electric build is going to be the battery monitoring system. So this actually ties into your charging system, and I'll also have a gauge on the dash that will give you, what your state of charge is for the entire pack, all 6 batteries. And that so far has been, just the hardest part. There is a company in Australia that is called Zevo. It stands for Zero Emission Vehicle Operations or something like that. Like I said, they're out of Australia. They do have a kit for the Chevy Volt battery packs, but it's quite expensive. So I'm still not sure I'm going to use that battery pack or not, or I mean that battery monitoring system, but we'll find out. I'm not quite to that stage yet, so I'm not playing around with it. As you can see on top of the battery pack, this is actually where the fuse goes that comes with the Chevy Volt. Let's see here. I remember where I put that. I actually have 2 of them because we have 2 packs, but that will be replaced with that Gigavac 300 amp contactor. That's what the contactor is for. You'll turn the key, which is a 12 volt system, turn the key on the dash, and it will have the contactor click, and that will provide the almost 400 volts from the Volt battery pack to the Tesla motor. So that's a very integral piece. I have one, like I said, it went bad. It kind of sucks, but you got to take the wins and the losses together. So speaking of losses, here's another one for you guys. So I figured, all right, my body guy's still going on the Bodywork. As you can see here, we're molding all the flares and everything onto the body. They are all glued on. This is actually a really cool product, so I will show it off for you. So we have SEM Dual Mix. Okay, this is door skin and SMC adhesive. This is like $60 or $70 a tube, and it's not a lot of material, but that is what you adhere fiberglass to steel with. And it is an incredibly great joint. I've been very impressed with the quality on it. We've had this car, we've had very, very cold days here in the shop now, down to single digits. We put it on when it was fairly warm, and I've seen no delamination. I've seen no cracking. It has been fantastic product to work with, and I couldn't recommend it more. It's fantastic stuff. So back to the downside. So we're doing the Bodywork. Bodywork's going great. It's a little slow, but we're going good. But I decided, well, I've got this entire brake kit. We are converting the car to 4-wheel discs, and they're about a 13-inch rotor. And I was like, well, heck, let's just go ahead and start on the brake conversion. So we get this pulled apart. It's actually coming apart very well. Most of the time when you're working on these older cars, everything's going to fight you. Everything's rusted. Everything's broken. This has worked very, very well. And so we pulled it all apart, came apart beautifully. And come to find out, the inline 6 has a different spindle size than the V8. So I looked into getting new spindles. New spindles were $400 or $500. And there's really not that much of a benefit to it. There's a company out of Texas that actually makes sleeves for the spindle, because the strength of the spindle itself is still adequate to handle the batteries, because I'm only putting the 2 longer batteries under the hood. So I really don't have any more weight. It's actually lighter now than it was with the motor and transmission in it. So I don't have to worry about the weight side of things. But what I am going to do is I'm going to sleeve that spindle so it'll accept a V8 hub size. And then I can put those disc brakes on and start the conversion. We're also going over to a power unit. So it'll be power disc brakes all around, all four. And I upgraded with a vacuum assisted brakes. And I'll run the vacuum off of just a little electric vacuum pump, just like you would find in any other electric car. Moving on. So like I said, trying to get this thing going, and every single thing that I try and work on winds up kind of kicking me in the butt and slows me down. So kind of a sad day, or a sad week. I was really hoping to have more progress on it this week, but every single project that I've started to go and work on to try and make content for whether YouTube or TikTok, it stops us dead in our track. We got front frame rail rust, all the different issues. So let's see what we want to look at next year. So now that you've met the car, let me tell you a little bit about me and this shop here. Technically, I guess, I have a shop name. I like to pretend I do, at least. This is Zephyr Speed Shop. It is just my home garage. And I've been building cars now for, about 10 years, I guess. And it really started with full-size Jeeps and American Motors cars. So AMCs, Jeeps, old Wagoneers are kind of my specialty. And it went from there. And I started building lots of cars. I built Corvettes. I've had, this is my first Mustang, actually. It's my first Ford. But I've done, half a dozen LS swaps. And all that stuff is fun, but I'm a little over it at this point. The LS swaps are awesome. They have tons of power, great fuel economy, for a standard vehicle that you want to just, tote around town on. You can't beat them. But I really see these Tesla drive units as being the future LS swaps. I would love to design a kit so that you would buy, a dropout Tesla kit like this, and it would come with all the suspension, drive shafts, everything, to be able to put it in the back of any custom muscle car. So if you have a 69 Camaro and you want to put a Tesla unit in it, you go find you a salvage Tesla unit, and I'm going to sell you a suspension kit to stick that in the back of your car, and it's perfect for the width of the car. That's kind of where I'd like to see this go. But then again, I have an awesome job. I love my day job. I'm a mechanical engineer by day and a kind of car builder by night. But I also am into permaculture and having our little homestead here, our little farm. So you're actually going to see a lot of content that way, not just car content. You're going to see, I don't know, how to build ponds. You're going to see how to grade roads, pretty much anything. Yeah, you'll never know what kind of content I'll post week to week. But I think the biggest one so far that people are excited about has been this Mustang. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm really excited that you're here, and I will try and keep the progress going on this Mustang as much as possible. And thanks for following along. And just one more shot of another sign of mine. Thanks, everyone.